Hello turtles! Welcome to Monkey Bird and Sara Cat's game development arena, where not much has been accomplished in the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry I skipped last week's development log, but work had flown me out from coast to coast to go to a work conference where basically a bunch of us from Rescue Time got together and also got to go to some lectures and learn some things, which was pretty nice. However, the flight was early on Sunday, and Sunday is usually my best development day for hobby stuff, but due to the early flight, I wound up sleeping and not feeling so well on the flight, and didn't really get much done. No. So, since my major day of hobby development was taken, not much got done that week. There has been some concerns that this development log is a little unfocused, lacking direction, and jumping from place to place with no real flow. I will try to address that and make it a little bit better. However, I do tend to work on whatever I find interesting in a particular moment, and that does indeed lack a little bit of focus. The overall focus is still there though. I have 4 major projects and goals that I'm attempting to accomplish. Some of them compete against each other, but essentially I have Turtle Brains, which you've heard about in the last few weeks, a framework that I've been working in C++ to be a portable framework for rapid 2D game development. I started working on this framework in early 2012 for design, and development actually began in early 2013. Since about, I think, 2014, I've been using it regularly in Ludum Dare jams and compos. It has been improving pretty much every time or every jam weekend that there is. So that has been good. I think it's ready for other people to use. However, if somebody does wind up using it, they will get thrown into the deep end. There's a definite learning curve there that I need to sort out by providing a tutorial / hello world project to get started. The next long-term project is to create a realistic racing simulation. This has been something I've been interested in since pretty early high school. I've always liked racing and the physics about racing. I'm not so good with the mathematics of the physics, but it is something that I want to get better at, and I intend to continue improving. Racing simulator such as iRacing, Assetto Corsa, R-Factor, and Live for Speed, which should not be confused with Need for Speed, is along the lines of something that I want to create. This is actually where the last development log project of the drivetrain simulation is entering. I hope to make Zoom Car World 3 this year, which is something I've been saying year after year, but hopefully this year I'm going to be able to make it since I'm focusing only on a drag racing simulator for it. Zoom Car World 3 is essentially the prototype or proof of concept to the racing simulator, and where I'm going to basically learn all the maths involved in doing so. A spin-off of the racing simulating project is the artificial intelligence in racing simulations. This is different from artificial intelligence in games, since games can use things like catch-up mechanics, and the artificial intelligence in a game can actually control the car directly, moving the body from place to place in a semi-believable manner. Whereas in a racing simulator, this stuff is unacceptable in my eyes. So upon reading some books based on real-world racing practices, techniques, and what you should do while driving, I had the idea of actually creating a artificial driver in a racing simulator, which I've been using Live for Speed for since early 2010, late 2009 is when this project got kicked off. I typically solve the problems with little help from external resources, although on occasion I do start peeking around just to find a little bit of help. But it has been a pretty good brute force learning project, and the problem space is always growing. Unfortunately, it doesn't really give me anything concrete moving forward. It doesn't really affect the racing simulator or help me make money or anything else. So this is only a fun project. The final project is actually many projects, and it's essentially a goal that I've had since college, where I want to make my own indie development games or indie games and make money off it to continue developing more indie games. Each of these projects are probably going to vary in scope from 2 weeks to 3 months, maybe a little bit longer, but I think around 3 months will be about the cap that I'll put on these little projects, with the intent to make money to continue doing so. I currently have a full-time job, so I haven't started an indie adventure, but I do plan to one day, and that's where Turtle Brains is coming in to eventually make these games a lot easier to create. So yes, the development arena is a little unfocused and scattered, but any little projects that I'm working on should directly impact one of those 4 major goals, be it Turtle Brains framework for rapid 2D game development, the realistic racing simulator, the artificial intelligence and racing simulations project, which is mostly just the brute force fun learning project, and or actually making indie games, which will hopefully sell and allow me to make more indie games. Sorry that I didn't really have much to show this week. Next week I'm hoping to have the physical simulation of that drivetrain simulator worked on, and maybe have something to show then. So make sure to come back next week and see what's been done. Until then, have a good one.